Hello everybody and welcome back. I am the Sovereign and this is my court. We are here today to discuss Miss Universe Mexico and their new queen, Miss Andrea Mitza. I'm aware some of you are here looking to see if I have any further thoughts on the director of Miss Universe Mexico, Lupita Jones. She will be discussed at the end of this video where she belongs. Andrea Mitza is the newest crowned queen of Mexico, representing her country in Miss Universe, and I'm going to sound the alarm bells right now. Andrea is a finalist. She is good. Mexico has yet again another incredibly dangerous competitor on their hands. I don't see much wrong with this woman. I really don't. Her strongest attribute is going to be her swimwear performance. Her swimwear performance is really outstanding. It's not just the fact that she has the technical ability to carry herself well. She's got charisma. You just want to watch her, and it seems like it comes very naturally. Honestly, it's not even the speaking ability, because usually that's something that queens would struggle with, but I would say her weakest element of competition is her evening gown performance. Her evening gown performance is a bit stiff, and it could have, I was checking out her dress, it could have just been because of the dress, but honestly, if I had to choose her weakest element, it would be that, because her speaking ability is also amazing, outstanding. It's not just that she speaks well, it's that she is an enticing speaker. It's that she's an impassioned speaker. She makes you feel what she's saying. She doesn't just relay information to you. She makes you understand and truly just feel the words and her meaning. She's very good at translating her message to an audience. I mean, the Americas is going to be very hard, and I know I've done other videos on countries such as Nicaragua and Panama, though both of those countries have incredibly beautiful women and they are very good on stage. Andrea has one thing that most women struggle with a lot, which is that speaking ability, and I anticipate that she's going to do very well in interview. And in a Miss Universe competition, the judges are much more forgiving towards well-spoken women than they are to care about a good performance. So I could see Andrea unseating some of the well-established competitors coming out of Central and South America, such as Nicaragua and Panama, even Brazil. I know we're all waiting for the official Miss Universe competitors list. People have finally started asking me about that, and I want to make sure that I am able to see as many competitors as possible before I kind of figure out who are my favorites, who the girls I think are doing very well. And we got to remember that these girls are allowed a lot more practice time and preparation time than previous competitions because of the whole COVID situation, and it's elongating the process in choosing a new queen. These girls are allowed a lot of developmental time to be at their peak, and a lot of girls are utilizing that time. So expect that some queens are going to be very different than what you saw of them maybe 5 or 6 or even 7 months ago. But Andrea, yes. Andrea, I could definitely see, not even as a wild card, like definitely taking a spot in the official America's position. And that puts a lot of countries under threat who are on like streaks, such as Colombia, such as the United States and Canada. The United States and Canada both have some good queens, especially when it comes to speaking ability, but their performance ability is not on par with the Central and South Americans. Andrea has a mix of both. She can speak and perform. So if she can continue and even develop further her performance skills, and for God's sakes, give that woman a nice dress. For God's sakes, please do not give her a lackluster dress. I am so tired of it. If that's one thing I can count on Latin American countries doing to me, it's just, it used to be that Colombia and Venezuela gave some really outstanding dresses, but the gowns coming from Central and South America, I have not been impressed with. And Andrea, she deserves something spectacular because she has so much potential. Please do not just give her some ridiculously rhinestoned gown that I could have done myself with a hot glue gun. Fabulous Queen Mexico. Fabulous Queen Mexico. Fabulous. Now, I could go and grab the crown of shade, just pretend it's on my head because I don't feel like giving Lupita the effort. I know that Lupita released a statement of apology towards Sofia, the former Miss Universe Mexico queen, whom she talked horrendously derogatory remarks towards. She released a statement not long after I released my video, or maybe even at the exact same time. If you are not aware of the situation, I do have a video on it, and I will put the tag up here just so you are able to follow along. And some of you have inquired as to my thoughts about what I thought of her apology. Though I was incredibly appalled at the behavior of not only a director, but a former Miss Universe, I was willing to be empathetic and hear her out, even though I was incredibly upset, as some of you saw. I'm like, I will hear people out. I will always hear someone out. So I saw the apology and was unimpressed. But I neglected to do another video on the subject because, one, why? It's Lupita. She deserves hardly any of my air. But I wasn't prepared to take an apology seriously unless I saw the actions and follow through afterwards. Sofia, in the tradition of any crowned queen, is supposed to appear for her final walk and crowning moment of her successor on stage. And that's the moment that I was waiting for, because I saw that it was very convenient that Lupita left that out of her apology. I saw that she had skirted that issue in mentioning that. So I'm like, let me just sit here and wait and see what happens. Because if this director is sincerely sorry for her behavior, then the best way to rectify the situation is to do her job and allow the queen, who is a finalist, to receive her final walk and accolades that she is rightfully owed after her spectacular performance and top 3 place in, and allow her final walk and crown her successor in the tradition. That is the most honorable path for Lupita to take. But Lupita is not an honorable woman and did not allow Sofia her final moment, which she is owed. Which is why I threw Lupita's apology directly in the garbage, because that's where it belongs. It is worth nothing, no one's time, air, breath, acknowledgement whatsoever. She did it as damage control. And all she did is reveal to us the evil queen that she is. And when I say evil queen, I mean the actual evil queen. Lupita is the evil queen that all Disney evil queens are based on. She is insecure about no longer inhabiting the spotlight, and she is determined to suck the life and hope and love and joy from any of her surrounding queens in order to sustain her unhappy existence. Basically, that's what she's been doing. She is the personification of every Disney villain I have ever seen. Because number one, this was a personal dispute with a person. Whatever dispute Lupita had with Sofia was personal and had nothing to do with the Miss Universe organization, and therefore should never have impacted either the main international organization or the Mexican organization. It should never have been brought to the forefront of the competition because it had nothing to do with that. So if Lupita was actually dedicated to doing her job, she would have kept her personal issues outside of what her job is and continued in her path as a good director, which she is not, and allowed Sofia to carry on in her job as a queen. But she allowed her own personal feelings to impact her job. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm pretty sure us average people know that if you have a job, no matter what it is, if you allow your personal issues to impact your ability to do your job, you get fired. You get fired. Now, based on the contracts that most franchises are held under, I'm sure Lupita is contractually obligated to own the Miss Universe Mexico franchise for a number of years. So the main Miss Universe organization can do nothing about it. But Lupita chose to prioritize her own issues over her job. That's issue number one. But besides the blatant disrespect for the Miss Universe organization or her job in general, which she clearly cares nothing about because she does not do it, Lupita is a person, a woman, who looked at another woman in need and laughed at her and berated her and embarrassed her. And that's the biggest issue that I have with Lupita, because it goes against everything that I am as a person. Those of you who have followed me on Instagram, all my links to my Instagram are below, because I know people are going to ask, where's the Instagram? It's down there. Those of you who have been following me since before I moved from Los Angeles know the story of Lauren. I was doing, it's a tiny story, but it's relevant. I was doing Lyft as like a part-time job, and I picked up a young, like 20-something-year-old, and her name was Lauren, and she got in the back of my car, and I could tell that she was very sad. And when I tried to cheer her up, and I got the vibe that something was amiss, when it was time to drop her off, I looked at her sincerely and just asked if she was okay. And she burst into tears. She burst into tears. And I found out in a very short amount of time that this was a neglected woman. She was hurt and she was alone, and she lived out of state, and she was stuck with someone who was hurting her badly. And I had no obligation to her. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know anything beyond her first name. But in me seeing that there was a person in front of me who was in need, I took her under my wing. I gave the stranger my number. I told her to call me. I picked her up several times at 2 o'clock in the morning. I brought her to my house to sleep, to rest. I took her, I took care of her. I couldn't imagine looking at a woman in need and knowing you have the opportunity to help and not extending some sort of compassion in some way. Those of you who follow me know Lauren stayed with me for an entire week. I took her to work with me. I took her home with me. I took her out to eat with me. If she called me at any time, I was there. So I can't imagine what it's like to be the type of person to knowingly look, and you can't say that Lupita didn't do this, because she said as she was making fun of Sophia, oh, she was depressed. Well, if she was so depressed, why didn't you help her? If someone came to you crying, why didn't you help them? This is what bothers me. It's not just that she disrespected a franchise that I highly respect and enjoy. It's the fact that she's a person who looked at another person in their lowest depths, and it was not only her job to help this woman. As a Miss Universe director, it is your job to help these women and guide these women and push them to their peak and their best and protect them. But you're a woman who looked at someone else who looked up to you. She looked up to you. Miss Universe directors are not just directors. They are like fairy godmothers. They guide their queens. These are the people their queens look to for guidance and help. She looked to you for help, and you let her. It's not even just that you let her down, because it's one thing to just let Sophia down. It's another thing to be the catalyst of her pain and embarrassment. Lupita stabbed Sophia in the back in the worst way, and she used her position to do it. Everything about the situation disgusts me, and she had the opportunity to make it better. Lupita had the opportunity to make amends with not just Sophia. Hell, if she just decided she hated Sophia, she could at least make amends with the fans or with the Miss Universe organization, whom she is dutifully bound to uphold. But she chose her own selfishness and her own personal issues over her job or the well-being of others. Not the queens, not the fans, not the organizations. Lupita selfishly chose herself. So for those of you who have been oh, have mercy on this queen, I will not. I will not. There are times where I will hold my tongue. There will be times where I let it go. There have been many times where there were videos that people wanted me to do and wanted me to freaking put on the crown of shade and drag people. And I just didn't have the spirit, will, or I just didn't want to. It wasn't worth it. I didn't care. There are times where you just have to let things go. I'm not letting this go. I'm not, because it's people like this who think that they can say something and get away with it because they have all the power. She's one of those people that think, oh, I have the power and there's nothing anyone can do about it. Well, as long as I have breath in my chest, I will say something against the people who think they are untouchable, because I can touch you. Even if it's in a minuscule way, being loud on YouTube and ringing the alarm bells on what you have done, I will do my part because I am beholden to no one. Once again, that's why I'm called the sovereign. Lupita's despicable, and your apology is not accepted, and your apology was trash and false, and everyone could see it. Everyone could see it, but even I was willing to give her the benefit of the doubt, and she failed. She failed as a dutiful director. If she was dedicated to her job was to uphold the current queen, no matter what she personally felt about it. And if you can't do your job, you need to quit. You need to quit. If you find it hard to put the crown, to put the throne, to put Miss Universe organization, your job above your personal bias, quit. But don't ask me to go easy on Lupita, because regardless of what she's done with the Miss Universe organization as a person, I find her to be utterly disastrous and an embarrassment. And God, on this channel, I will not be acknowledging her as a queen, because quite honestly, Lupita is the worst queen to come out of Mexico and the worst Miss Universe to have been crowned. And I am completely sorry that anyone has to ever think of her in the capacity of queen. Like I said, she's the personification of any and every Disney villain that I've ever seen in any Disney cartoon. She's jealous, she's petty, she's selfish, she's mean. And if I'm the only person that's willing to give her her own poison apple, then so be it. I mean, God forbid the evil queen succeed. Down with the evil queen. One good thing that I can say may have come out of this entire situation is that maybe Lupita will step back in line a bit and learn her place. Maybe she's learned from the backlash that she can't behave this way, and she will be more supportive of the current queen. She had better be, because if I hear anything of the unhappiness of this queen, I'm going to be highly upset. I pray for the day where a more deserving person takes over the Miss Universe Mexico franchise. But until then, we support the current Miss Universe Mexico in all her glory and pray that Lupita does not leech off of her glory. Congratulations to Miss Universe Mexico. May you have all the love and praise and support that you deserve. You better have all the support you deserve. I can't wait to see what she brings to the Miss Universe stage. In the comment section below, let me know what you think about the Miss Universe Mexico queen. What do you think? Do you think that she is very good? I think she's very good. But do you think she's good? Do you think there's anything she needs to work on? Is there any tea, any knowledge that you would like to impart on the rest of us fans? Let us know in the comment section down below. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. If you are not a member of my court, remember to hit the subscribe button so that you may be around when new videos come out, new things develop. I have many new things planned for the new year. We're gonna have a lot of fun over here. I mean, a lot of fun. So consider hitting the subscribe button. I love you, I'll miss you, and you know I will be back in a future video. Bye.